Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch, and you could save an average of $470 on your auto insurance. That's a lot of money in just a few minutes. With savings like that, you could be lounging on an impractical amount of ornate and overpriced throw pillows you bought for your couch. But you won't, because you're better with money than that. That's why you're calling us in the first place. Call 1-888-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey data July to December 2020. Underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Walmart believes every community should be a healthy community. That's why they've built a nationwide network of 59,000 healthcare professionals who help them care for the communities they serve. Last year, their pharmacists administered millions of flu shots, and now they're preparing more than 5,000 Walmart and Sam's Club locations to administer the COVID-19 vaccine. Because Walmart isn't just in your community, they're part of it. Learn more at walmart.com/COVID vaccine.
The confirmation hearings for Attorney General designate Merrick Garland, formerly a judge on the U.S. Circuit Court in Washington, D.C., it's called the D.C. Circuit, has become worse than a joke. The guy's being asked questions. What do you think about Biden's immigration policies? He says, I really don't know anything about immigration. He doesn't know anything about anything because he doesn't want to know anything about anything because the guy's simply a liar. And if you look at his physical constitution, he looks like a little mouse. He's going to be the total tool of the Biden-Harris administration already. The FBI of the Department of Justice, my once proud alma mater, is out there like the Gestapo, rounding up people that were in Washington, D.C. to peacefully protest on January 6th, 2021. And those that went into the Capitol building, most of them were ordinary, good Americans. There were a couple bad people on both sides, but these were ordinary Americans. They were let in primarily by the police who have been maligned, assaulted, and killed in the last several years. Here's the reality. The left, through this political hack, is going to misuse the Justice Department to wreak havoc on the American people, to keep them down, so we cannot question this rapid march towards socialism, communism, atheism, and every radical ideology. That's where we are today. And it's why we are in a revolutionary state. It's why I wrote the book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. Forget about Fox News. This is Republican establishment. The Republican establishment is dead. The Republican establishment is over. We need to now move on ourselves if we're going to save this country. Through citizens' grand juries, we're going to be commissioning one for Biden on March 17th, seek his indictment along with his son Hunter and Joe Biden for the massive bribery that they have which they took part in with regard to China, Ukraine, and Russia. And we're going to go through all the criminals and hold them accountable because you know what? You can't hold just the American people accountable. And what are they being held accountable for? Rising up because they see just how corrupt the government is? This is something which is beyond 1776. As I've said many times, King George III was not a socialist. King George III was not a communist. He was not a radical Muslim. He was not a radical Marxian on the Jewish left. He was not a radical LGBTQ. He was not a radical atheist, and he was not a radical black. And most of the people in these groups are good, as I said, but these radicals are bent on destroying this country and dividing it up, and there'll be nothing left, and we'll have absolutely no country. In fact, we have no country today. The country's dead. So we need to rise up, and we need to do it peacefully and legally. And that's been my message. So I want you to go out and get my book. I know I keep pushing this, but you got to read it because I've been through the court system now for 44 years. It is corrupt to the core. There is no more than a handful of judges in my entire 44-year career that I have any degree of respect for, and not in particular this guy, Merrick Garland, who at one point was nominated for the U.S. Supreme Court. But you can tell what's happening there, too, just yesterday. They would not look at the issue of voter fraud or changing the rules to vote in Pennsylvania. They rubber stamped a corrupt Pennsylvania Supreme Court decision And even Justice Thomas, who seems to have understood this matter should be reviewed, made a gratuitous statement suggesting that Biden was legally elected, that there isn't enough fraud to overturn it. We don't know that because the Supreme Court never allowed for a review. And this is what Thomas Jefferson was saying. Article 3 judges, which he was against, would become despots and tyrants because they're unaccountable to the people, unelected to the people. And that's why Memorial Day of this year, we're having the Third Continental Congress. We're going to talk about forming a new government with means to have elections that are free and fair, which the Congress, which actually represents the people of the United States, not just themselves, and of course, to get rid of the deep state and the executive branch and start anew with a new government, as Charles de Gaulle did during World War II when the Nazis took over France. Well, you know what? The new American Nazis have taken over our so-called government, and we must now reclaim it. And it's time, and there's no time to lose. So go out and get my book, read it. Read the Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events, the sovereign breaks away from the people have a right under the laws of nature and nature's God to alter and abolish that government and to form a new government by and for the people with equal rights for everyone in pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness. That's what we need to do. Black and white, green, yellow, and blue. We need to now rise up to preserve the vision of our founding fathers and to recreate a nation which has already been destroyed as far as its body politic is concerned. In control of this country, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, the tools, the stooges of the radical left, are bent on ending this country, not just for you, but for your children and grandchildren. And while you may have a happy life now and you're going out playing golf and tennis and going to swimming pools if you're in a warm climate, your kids will have nothing, absolutely nothing. And our founding fathers understood this. Okay, they were in their 60s, they were in their 70s. Some of them were younger than that, but they knew that they were doing what they were doing for future generations. So that's what we must keep in mind right now. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, pray, give some thought. You must now rise up peacefully and legally. We must put our foot down with citizens' grand juries, with reenacting the Constitution that takes away immunity from government officials and judges, with making it clear that you can discriminate on the basis of ideological belief, not just race, sex, ethnicity, and otherwise, and religion. And we need to reform a new government, a new nation, before these leftists, like cockroaches, which they are, destroy us all. God bless you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks for listening to me.
Call 1-888-FARMERS to switch, and you could save an average of $470 on your auto insurance. That's a lot of money in just a few minutes. With savings like that, you could be lounging on an impractical amount of ornate and overpriced throw pillows you bought for your couch. But you won't, because you're better with money than that. That's why you're calling us in the first place. Call 1-888-FARMERS to get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Based on average nationwide annual savings survey data July to December 2020, underwritten by Farmers Trucker Fire Insurance Exchanges or affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Walmart believes every community should be a healthy community. That's why they've built a nationwide network of 59,000 healthcare professionals who help them care for the communities they serve. Last year, their pharmacists administered millions of flu shots, and now they're preparing more than 5,000 Walmart and Sam's Club locations to administer the COVID-19 vaccine. Because Walmart isn't just in your community, they're part of it. Learn more at walmart.com/COVID vaccine.